Good morning. Good morning. Jab of Delight will uplift you. Stay tuned. The show is about to begin. Grab your coffee. Stay tuned. This show is about to begin.
Okay, well, welcome everybody. This is going to be a real interesting show. I think I may have. There's Elsa also. I don't know. Good, hey, good morning, Elsa. How are things in South Africa? It's definitely unique here.
We are trying different things, going with the flow, getting everything ready. I have no idea where Brandon is.
I don't either. I know where I am. I'm in Deadwood, South Dakota today, and I am heading up actually to where Bob Seymour was hanging out for a couple of months. I'm going to go up to Spearfish and then up to Belfouche to see what things are like up in that neck of South Dakota. So we decided to stay here in Deadwood, and I'm sitting outside trying not to bother my roommate, who's still trying to sleep off a drunk from here in Deadwood, and run the show from my phone, which is the first time I've done it this way. So anyhow, that's kind of where I'm at. Say what?
Have you seen any more properties that you like yesterday's for your leadership place?
Well, that's kind of part of the reason that we're scouting things out. We're looking for opportunities, just to make sure that we know what else is around the area. I'll tell you that Deadwood is not where I would do that type of thing. It doesn't have the same energy as the place that I was at yesterday, and I think that that's going to be kind of energetically, that's the best place in the state for sure, and maybe in the U.S. to do what we want to do. So this is really to kind of say, okay, well, if people come into the leadership academy or a leadership retreat, that could show them Deadwood, which is where Wild Bill Hickok was shot back in the 1800s, and we went and had a beer at the hotel or the saloon that he got shot at last night, and then go up to Spearfish and Belfouche and see if there's some things up there people could look at. We've definitely got the monuments like the Washington Monument and Crazy Horse Monument. So there'd be a number of things that we could do with when people come in to actually be a part of a leadership retreat. So those are the types of things that we're scoping out for the next day or so.
Oh, wow. That is so amazing. What have you guys got planned for your whole leadership skills? What are some of the ideas that you are working on?
Well, because I want this to be completely unique compared to any other life and leadership retreat or location, is that we would really try to tie at least the part that we would run, because we're also saying, other life and leadership type programs could potentially come in and use our facilities. But the one that we would do would incorporate like Native American or indigenous leaders from the local area, because that would be unique and tie into the whole energy around where we're going to be doing this. We'd also bring in military because it's a very big military area. As I mentioned, we had the vets and everything there. We would tie in probably some ranchers because there's a lot of cattle ranches around, and really use that as an opportunity to tie in the real world around this part of South Dakota into the leadership programs, which would make it far more unique than if we were just to do like the same kind of stuff that you can go to at a hotel in some big city. Can you still hear me?
Yes. I can still hear you. It's almost September 11th. How do you think the whole feeling with you guys pulling out of Afghanistan is gonna go with September 11th being in a couple of days and it being the 20th anniversary that it would
Yeah.
be?
It's going to be a unique feel. I'm hoping that it's one where we just reflect upon the times and recognize that, you know, shit happens. And a lot of times it happens for all the wrong reasons. And I was not one who felt that we should have stayed in Afghanistan after the initial response for 9/11. You know, to stay there for 20 years afterwards, to me, was a big mistake, and it was just entering into a second Vietnam. Essentially, it just, the Russians had been in there for like 15 years before us and didn't do anything. Why would you go in there and try to do something different? So the pullout that we've had from there was definitely a cluster. And anytime you tell people that you're gonna move out, hold on, it looks like Brandon is locked out. How's he locked out?
Yes. I don't know how to get him in, so
Um,
Brandon, we're trying to get you in. How do we do this? Okay, so busy typing.
yeah, hang on. We're gonna try to get him in here. I don't know.
He needs the code from you.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me try to do that. Ilsa, go ahead and talk about something.
Okay. I'll talk about. I was in Kathy's laughing yoga just before we started. Guys, you need to go. It's so much fun, and it makes you feel so relaxed and open and just all yummy. I don't know how to explain it. It's just such an awesome experience. It's really, really nice. You guys must really join her club. Tell us about giraffes. I actually found these little gems, so I have to show you this. If you can see, they're little giraffe earrings. So I bought these earrings about 5 years ago. And they went missing. They were in a box at my mom's house. So the other day, my daughter gave me a bag with some of my little personal stuff in them. And I actually found these little giraffe earrings. I was like, where in your life is these the only things that you have in 5 years of what you bought? They are so cute. Aren't they cute?
Wow, those are they're like huge. You put those in your ears, they hang down to your waist.
No, almost. They work like this. Wait, let me show you. Let me try and put one in so you can. Wait, hang on. I think I've got it. Oh, thanks, Sherry. They're all cute and they're so cheap. I had a black pair and a white pair, so I can't find the black pair's little friend. So there's the black one. Little giraffe earrings. I was like, this is so. Let's do this.
Oh, look at that.
So, there's Mr. Brandon. Ooh, you look so sexy.
Hi, Brett.
Hello. I'm upside down. I'm right side up. I just switched around. There's nothing exciting to see behind me, but if I turn the other way, it gets too dark on my face. But here's this is the fireplace that's outside of the hotel that I'm at right now, and you know, you can see the trees behind me and things like that. It's really kind of cool. But Brandon, I'm in Deadwood, South Dakota today.
Whose signal is bad? Brandon, did you see my earrings? Wait, I'm gonna show you.
Brett, did you pick me up? I hear you. I hear you twice. I can hear you twice. Do you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, perfect. I think I fixed it. I heard you saying everything twice. That was funny. Oh, Elsa, look at those earrings, girl. You are on fleek. Elephant earrings, girl.
They're rats, you silly. They're not elephants.
Oh, yeah. The Brett Witch Project. Oh, my God. That's hilarious. Sorry, guys. Elsa, you and I were going to go to the dance class this morning. And while I knew I wasn't going to make it, I had an interview that I had to be on at 9 a.m. How did it go?
Okay, the laughing yoga or dancing class, or call it whatever you want, is the most insane thing ever. I love it. I love it.
I love that.
So amazing. When you tap and everything, you just feel like a new person when Kathy has got you laughing and everything. And everybody just,
everybody's laughing.
So nice. Yes, it was really nice. I'm glad I went.
I honestly was blown away the first time I went because, like, let's be honest, the first time I met her, Miss Kathy, is not insulting her in any way. She literally was this ball of laughter and joy and positivity that some people might be turned off by. And that's not an insult to her. It's just not their cup of tea. There we go. Now everything's connected. And it's just not her, like, cup of tea. She's not your cup of tea. But the thing is, God, does she have fun. And she knows who she is. She does what she does best. She brings a positive mindset, and I couldn't ask for anything better when I'm there. On Tuesdays, I kind of have it in my schedule now to make sure I do go to Kathy's thing, because Mondays I have Project Joy that gets my Monday mental health started right. Tuesdays with Jessica Dugas and the Breakthrough Show, and then Tuesdays I have her dancing, and today I sent her a song that I know has swearing in it. I don't know if she played it, but God, did she like it. I sent her a song through Spotify. She sends me a text message going, I love it! I'm like, thank you. So she and I had a great conversation, and I love what she's doing. I think that even if it doesn't fit you, you go once, you don't have to be on camera. You can literally sit in the background and you're just dancing. It's almost like a freeing moment. And,
it is.
You know, so that, Sherry McQueen, I do have something to tell you, my queen. Guess what? I'm sorry, Elsa, my queen. Sherry McQueen, I just did my interview with Rebecca, and it went really well. At the end of the interview, Rebecca.
I wanted to ask you about your how did your morning go? Tell us.
It went very well.
So sexy.
So I had a very important interview that will be broadcast in November. It was all about, like, it's about being different, unique, and is on a platform that I'm not allowed to do anything or say anything completely yet with, just because they're going to be doing a lot of marketing and all that. But, like, I literally wanted to be able to present my best. And the last time we scheduled an interview, Rebecca and I, my alarms never went off. 3 different alarms and parents knowing about it. I slept through the entire interview. I didn't even wake up. Like, I woke up and my alarm was beeping, and it was already the end of the interview where I should have been ending. And I'm like, whoo! My heart stopped. So I'm emailing this Rebecca lady. Like, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I'm not this type of person. And Rebecca, like, writes back. She's like, Brandon, don't worry about it. It's okay. We're going to be good. And then we rescheduled for a morning time. So I just did it. She's in London. Wow. What an interview. She even said at the end, she goes, Brandon, I have to be honest. You are your own light. and you need to keep being you. And she goes, I wish I was in London. I wish you were in London or I was in the States so I could give you a hug, because you seem like someone who just would love hugs. And I'm like, oh, I love hugs. Like, I hated COVID because they're like, keep away. And I'm like, 6 feet my ass. Get over here, people. So it went very well. I'm very excited to see how the edits go. When you start a conversation with someone and they're like, so, and you can see that they're used to it being very one way, the conversation's focused and all that, it became a lot more challenging to me, or to her, I think, that I was such a big bubbly personality, because she, by the end, was like laughing with me and bouncing back and forth, and her professionalism let it be a little bit more fun. So and I know that's what I bring, because I'm not the guy that shows up usually like this. I usually would have a dress shirt. I wouldn't even have a dress shirt on with a tie. If I'm doing that, it means I'm really trying to impress you. I like to be the guy that shows up in a hoodie and cargo pants, and then all of a sudden I'm talking in front of everybody and they're like, who the is this dude? I want to talk to him. And I think Brett's seen that a couple times in my life. So it's one of these things where I get to be me, and I guess I'm quite unique.
That's a fact.
But you don't have white on today, because I watched your episode of Bold Bipolar by what's it?
Bisexual.
Bold bearded bold. How did you go in the video? Bold bearded.
Just because you said that. Beard, bald, bipolar, and the boss.
Beard, bold, bipolar boss. I watched your video. I was impressed, but I thought you're gonna wear some white to break some rules today, because it's white after Labor Day.
I came straight from the interview. If you and Brett, I have my headphones on. If you and Brett want to jump back into what you were saying, I will go change into something white just for this. But when I come back, we have to talk about what's going on Thursday, because I believe Brett Gordon is not going to be doing the show this Thursday, correct? So, correct. Brett, we actually have somebody that's going to step in and do a veterans show, and I'm going to interview Dave, and we're going to talk all about Brett. We're going to talk all about Brett with Dave on Thursday, with Brett not there, guys. Don't worry. But no,
he's not going to know.
Brett has no clue what we're talking about. But Brett literally, fuck you, Brett. Dave, Dave is literally going to bring, someone hide Brett, please. Why? I love Brett. He looks so happy today. Now I'm going to do this just because you said that, Brian Tracy. Ready? Boom. Brett.
Hey, there we go.
Put him on top of me. How you doing? But in all, I'm literally someone who's, I want to interview and break stereotypes. And he is a veteran that knows a lot of other vets and is going to be coming on Thursday, 6 p.m. And then at 7 p.m., we're going over to the Breakthrough Network to see the Jacksons. And we're going to be making sure to talk about what is for real. They are gonna teach us about relationships. That doesn't really rhyme. It's okay.
You don't have to rhyme.
I don't have to rhyme. But we're gonna be diving into relationship talk. I'm gonna be having veteran talk. So this Thursday, we have a good amount of things coming up in the evening where if you're wanting to completely Sorry.
Guess you get a hug from Brian.
Oh, I am so sorry. Thank you, Jessica Tukas. The Jacksons are tomorrow. I literally said the wrong day, guys. All right, so tomorrow you have the H. Brandon Crouch are going to be on with Tracy Lamb. Tracy is literally going to be teaching us all about how to take care of our parents digitally through the next generation and all that. And then after that at 7 p.m., we are jumping on to the Jacksons. The Jacksons are on Wednesday, 7 p.m., the Breakthrough Network. We're going to be talking all about them, what we're doing, and how they're breaking through relationships to build the best foundations. Breaking news, I will be hugging Brandon Croucher in Cleveland, Ohio in the morning. I get to hug Brian Tracy. Now, there is more big news. Wait, you're going to be hugging me in Cleveland? You're going to be in Cleveland? I'm intrigued now because, guys, I got the text message. Bob and Brian have both confirmed they're going to be in Cleveland at the same time. I am going to get to meet Bob Seymour today and Brian Tracy. I'm going to get to hug soon. And then from there, I get to start planning my next round of trips all over the place. Oh, I'm so excited! And I just can't hide it. I know. I'm going to hug you, Brian. As I totally stripped for everybody there. I hope you all don't mind. So I'm gonna strip.
You can strip.
I can strip. I can strip.
Just
all
strip.
right.
Just take it off.
All right. You said so.
No, not
so,
now. Okay, wait.
Yeah, let's not get down to the hairy part here.
Oh, God, I am hairy, too. So, Elsa and Brett, I'm sorry I interrupted. I apologize. I'm a few minutes late, guys. I am here. I am here to be with you guys, and I am so excited that I get to see the Jacksons tomorrow. I'm so excited that Jessica's here. Brian's here. I get to hug Bob Seymour later today. I get to hug Sherry McQueen one day. There's so many good people here. I'm Ohio bound and listening to some Stevie Ray. I love it. Sherry McQueen, everybody. Oh, wait, I see a breakthrough thing up here. Where did it go? I just saw it. So I got to speak with Jay Bird yesterday, and Jay sent me some pretty cool ideas for a way of helping be able to connect with Bob and be able to really connect back with him and make some good things happen for Bob. So, Jay, I loved your ideas. Then you have good morning, just pooping in through and wishing you guys a great day.
Pooping.
Thank you, Jess. I know, she said pooping. And then Bob's, Mandy Atterbury, I haven't seen you in so long. Hello, hugs. Do we have videos of the meeting? I do not. We took pictures together. We laughed together. Rebecca and I had a wonderful interview, and you're such a Goofy sucker, Brandon. Goofy is good, though. Goofy was my hero of all Disney things. And then right here, Miss Kathy. I know I missed this morning. I had my interview, but you should hear Elsa raving about it, Kathy. She is saying how wonderful it is.
She was busy, so I couldn't say bye. I had to slip away because I had to be with it at the show. So, hi, Kathy. Thank you for such an amazing morning.
I love it. We had a great morning. So, guys, thank you guys for tuning in this morning. Brett, with nothing being on Thursday, and we're going to be talking veterans and stuff, can you give me an idea of what you're thinking? Like, what would you want to talk? I think she's talking about when you meet Brian and Bob. Who's talking about when I met Brian and Bob? Wait, damn it.
Go.
Oh, now I get it. She's meaning Brandon meets Brian and Bob. Sherry's meaning, how about Rebecca? I meant about you meeting with Bob. So I completely read that with the delay wrong. Like 100%. Yes, I will get video.
Sorry.
What was that?
What the hell, Brett? Like, good Lord, can you even hear us now? Like, when did you join the Indy 500?
I'm out on a patio here at the hotel, and it's right next to the highway going through Deadwood, and that was just a truck going by. If it was a few weeks earlier, we'd have had nothing but motorcycles going through here as the rally was going on in Sturgis. Now we just got a little bit of traffic. But it's noisy.
Yeah, we all of a sudden you were like going by and I could hear it. And I was like, what the F? Like Brett, like sounds like he's like in the middle of like a wind tunnel or something.
Yeah, I apologize for that. I'm trying to move around so I'm not getting killed by the sun here. It's amazing here that it gets down into like the 40s at night, and then in the 90s in the daytime. The sun just is intense once it gets over the trees here.
Really? Like isn't it a noticeable difference from Vegas?
Huge difference.
Really?
I mean, from the terrain and the trees to the people to the energy. This is a much healthier place in the world than Vegas as far as energy goes, and it really feels more normal here. I continue to, just be amazed at what's here in South Dakota, considering I had never really known jack crap about South Dakota until about 6-8 weeks ago.
Really? So when you get there, and now you are moving, I am correct, right?
I will be moving here for sure. It's just a matter of timing and whether or not can make some deals happen.
Gotcha. So Brett, what can we do to send you good vibes, good energy, love, and appreciation right now?
Hey, it is all of that actually here. Just knowing that everybody's out there and gets a chance to, hopefully a little bit through me, get a better feel for what's going on here. Bob was broadcasting from here for almost 2 months or a month and a half when he was up in Belfouche. I am heading up that way. It was interesting last night. My buddy and I went out and had a couple of beers, maybe a couple too many, but he was a whole lot worse than me. And we ran into a couple guys from Missouri. They were out here. They're going to go hunting and that kind of stuff. And was talking to them about, we're going up to spearfish next. And they're like, oh, well, if you're going up there, you got to go to this place. And I'm like, we're going to go to Belfouche. And they're like, that's it. You got to go to Belfouche if you're going to go up that way. They said it's completely different than spearfish, and you got to check it out. So, there's all these callings with Bob being up there before, and now, that was in my mind. And yet these guys who I didn't know from Adam until last night said the same thing. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Belfouche today.
I love it, buddy. You
send us a picture.
No, don't send us pictures.
Okay, then don't.
I'm just kidding. Send us pictures, please. Send us pictures.
I'm gonna go there. Then on the way back to Hot Springs, which is where I'm kind of basing myself out of, gonna stop by the Veterans Memorial Cemetery that Bob showed some pictures of before. I've been to Arlington, down in Hot Springs. They have one, but the one here near Rapid City, South Dakota, is a very big one. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's over 40,000 headstones there. So gonna go there and just pay my respects for those that gave it all for the country. And that kind of goes in line with what you were just talking about in talking with Dave on Thursday. And
yes, sir.
I think that's, after, Thursday is what? What day is Thursday? Date?
Thursday
is the 10th or the 11th?
I believe. Thursday should be the 9th.
Thursday's the 9th because September 11th is on the Saturday.
Okay, so that's September 11th could. Don't know what September 11th is going to bring. Hopefully, it doesn't bring any more chaos than we've already got. But there's a lot of energy that's been building up over the past 18 months, and then the things that have been happening in terms of our departure, the way we departed from Afghanistan. Not that we did, but the way we did it. And I think that there's a lot of pent up energy. So let's hope and pray for everybody to kind of keep a level head as we go into these next few days, and remember what happened, but not get into a point where we try to do some stupid things. Now we do enough stupid things without having to generate chaos due to something that's happened in the past.
I agree. So on Thursday, we have this conversation with Dave, and it's going to be all about being able to talk about veterans, have veteran conversations from how the VA is doing to how we're standing out to what we can do better for veterans. in all realms, because I know that everybody likes to have that conversation and wants to be appreciated. I want to make sure we are showing how we can do that. And then what I like is Bob Seymour chiming in here. 40,000 graves are at that gravesite you're going to go to, Brett. 40,000 graves. Now, I know September 11th is on Saturday. Correct, Elsa? Did I say it right?
Yes, you did.
Without going down a political realm, without going down any other side steps or anything, I want to make sure that we do understand the significance of September 11th. If I say, where were you as an American, you know where you were. If I say, what did it mean to you? You know what it means. But the thing is, all of us were affected by that day, just like all of us were affected by COVID, just like all of us have been affected by many areas of life. With that, we can't forget our past, or we can't move into our future. And my thing is, that was a very dark past, and we need to be able to look at it, remember the fallen, remember the ones that kept us free, and then above all else, even if we left not in good terms, Brett, because I agree with you, even if we left in not good terms, you still put your appreciation for what they did for us first, above everything else. Because without the freedom, without their fight, we're not here today.
I don't think it's just the Americans that can remember where they were. This affected the whole world. I mean, I know exactly where I was when we saw that and everything. I mean, it's 20 years ago. So I know exactly where I was and how everybody in South Africa went into a panic state when that happened. So that affected everybody. I mean, anything America does affects the rest of the world. And I don't know if it's unfortunately or fortunately at this stage. But
I think it's fortunate and unfortunate, because we don't lead the way we should. So it's not like one is going to be right and one's wrong. That's why I interrupted you, and I apologize. Now I'll shut my face. Go ahead.
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't want it to be political because, but I do think that America is not leading. They want to be the leaders, but at this stage, they're not leading. They are running around frantically, and then all the other countries go like, oh, is that what we're supposed to do? And they just screw up further, because I mean, if the big country with the isn't it the richest country as well? I mean, you guys, everybody's always looking for American investors and stuff in countries. So
we were, whether we are or not anymore, I can't say. I would assume yes, but I can't say that with pure confidence. I would say that America has its stronghold on being number one and being the country that's looked at. But I would also say that with whether it's a plandemic or a pandemic, we are all still in this. And we are all still learning from this, whether the science says one thing. And because I hate when people use that debate, oh, that's science, because both sides are saying that. I've heard it from both sides. And the thing is, the science is there and statistics are here, and they're going to be there to make you know what they want you to know. What you want to know is available for you to find, whatever it is. And the statistics are leaning towards the way they want it to go. For me, I just want people to be able to know that with September 11th, we're learning as we grow. We're learning with what's going on. And with this pandemic, we're learning what is either going good or bad. And while America may look like we're right now, guess what? That's why we have people like Elsa who train dolphins and sharks to play together in the wilderness with giraffes. Because without the giraffes and the sharks, where are we in this world?
Where are we?
Well,
Randy, I didn't know that South Africa was very rich. I think the politicians are, but I don't think South Africa is.
Cape Town is loaded.
Oh, but Cape Town is such a beautiful country or area in our country. I mean, South Africa in general is a beautiful country, but Cape Town is it's a stunning place. It's really a beautiful place, and those jungle.
I agree. So
here's one thing that I think that we need to remember is,
No.
and this is one thing that I think a lot of figureheads forget. As a leader, you have to continue to earn your respect and earn your following every single day. And if you do stupid shit, it stays in people's minds a lot longer than most of the good things that you do, because that's just the way that the human mind works. That's the way that the lizard mind works. It remembers the bad things because you try and avoid those things in the future. That's survival. And as a leader, you have to earn your stripes every single day. And I think that the United States at this point in time has lost their direction. And as a result, we are losing our respect from our allies, and we're actually, being recognized by those that don't see what we stand for. They're recognizing that we're not as strong as we were. And that's because our leadership has lost focus on the fact that we are supposed to be statesmen as opposed to politicians. We are supposed to think things in advance before we act. And those are some of the things that I think, that America has lost in terms of reputation and so forth over these past number of years. That's my opinion.
Oh, excuse me. Right when I went to talk, I'm sorry. I don't want to dive into this yet, but I would like everybody to remember where they were on September 11th. And I think this Friday, Elsa, you and I need to have a moment of talking about September 11th to start the show. It's a very important day. And while it may be the day before, the next morning is the day that everything happened, and it's the 20-year reunion. I don't want us to miss that. I don't want us to miss our opportunity to connect with people, but I really don't want people to feel they're not being heard or understood in this. And when you remember where you were, whether you were alive or not, you got to remember where you were and what that meant. And I mean, I could tell you my story, and God, September 11th it was my first semester of college. I was just getting ready to go to one of my first classes, and the TV's on in the background, and I literally turned and stopped, and I just felt like the whole world fell out of me. And I sat there crying, and I've only seen my dad cry 3 times in my life, and that was one of them. He actually left work, drove from his office, and him and I met and got lunch, and we just sat there watching the TV in a restaurant. And I don't remember either of us even saying a word, but he and I cried eating lunch together, watching that. And that's not a memory that I hold lightly, because the only other 2 times my dad cried were my cousin passing away recently and when my best friend committed suicide. So when that was at 6, and all of that comes together, you're talking, seeing your dad break down like that opens up barriers and vulnerability for us to have conversations, but it shows you how serious of a situation it is. And for me, being the goofball that I am, I want everybody to be able to have that moment of serious to remember and show what the positives have been since then. Is that a good thing, Brett? Mr. Next to the Highway?
Yes, I think that, in every, as I always say, an event is just an event. Even if the event is as traumatic as 9/11, it is only an event. And what we choose as our lessons and what we choose to remember and the perceptions that we place on the event are still up to us. So if we choose to find the positives in what has come after that, or what did at least come after that initially, I think that's great. I think that, the one thing about the human animal is that we tend to forget too. And
Yes.
And we tend to forget the positives faster than we forget the negatives. So
Preach!
again, this is where we run into the challenges, is we have to consciously choose how we look at these things and consciously reflect on those things again to select the positives that came out of that, what we learned from it as an individual. And, it's more difficult collectively as a country because we've got so much politics and bullshit around it, but it's about trying to really focus on the positive, pick up the lessons that we learned so that we don't repeat those same mistakes, so that we recognize what it felt like. If you go back to that day and the days that probably for the next months after that, where we all came together not only as a country, but as a world during that time frame, and remember what that felt like to be reunited as a people, as a humanity. That is what we should be focused on every time we talk about 9/11, every talk about any of those types of massive traumatic experiences, how we came together. But yet now I think that people have forgotten about that. There's people that were not even alive when that happened. They don't feel the same level of significance, and they've chosen to also oftentimes take the negative aspect. And then we're not really growing from the past. We're living in the past and taking forward emotions and negativity that are not going to help us in our future. We need to focus on the positivity, what it was like when humanity started to come together. Because right now, 20 years later, humanity is probably more divided than it ever has been because of the things that are going on with COVID and things along those lines, and Afghanistan. But there's, this is another challenge for humanity. It's another challenge for leadership, and depending on what your political views are, we don't need a Joe Biden type person. I'm not saying anything other than he is not got the charisma to really draw people together. We need the Churchills, we need the Reagans, we need that type of personality to rise in order to be able to lead out of this situation, as opposed to manage to get into trouble. And I think that that's where our countries are today. They manage to get into trouble rather than lead the people in a direction that's going to be positive and fruitful for the future.
So I want to read Jessica's comment here because I think it's a very well-written comment. She says, for me, it's more important to focus on my energy and what I'm doing today. And I agree, because our energy today keeps us moving forward. It doesn't mean I forget. It means I choose to honor the past by being present. Jessica, I think that is phenomenally written. And yes, 100% agree with you on that.
Absolutely.
Just so everybody knows, CK and I are going to make sure we get together and hang out again. Why? Because CK has this fire inside her that someone like me, when I get to be around her, I fill up and I feel better about myself. So CK, I love that you and I are going to be able to connect again really soon. I remember the good and the bad things that have happened in my life. Always do. You always will. And it takes a what? It says it takes a big broom, big shovel, and garden hose of a huge effort, but it's worth the effort to clean it all up. So, yeah. And then he said, and then Bob Seymour says, I got to get out of here. I'll text you when I'm close to your place, Brandon. Guys, you get to see me meet Bob Seymour for the first time later today. I'm not only going to hug him, I'm going to hug him and squeeze him and dance with him and twist him around. And I'm going to play with his beard for all of you. Probably not any of that, but I will hug him. Go ahead.
You have to give him 2 hugs. You have to give him 2 hugs. One from me as well.
I love it. And then Bob Seymour sending love on your journey. Samuel says, Jaybird, inbox me for your reading. Miss Kathy Nesbot, don't forget to inbox me. And she's doing readings. I'm assuming Samuel is over there, like, getting ready to connect with them. And thank you for joining us today, Samuel. So, Elsa, I'm going to do a read of the bio today. I want you to watch Brett's face as I read this and see if you think he'll stay backstage or run away. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so it's Tuesday, right? We're not on Wednesday's show. It's Tuesday. All right, good. I don't want to make any hump jokes yet then. I got to make sure I'm not making any hump jokes then. So we will be interviewing JT Jester. Learn that you are not a mistake. You are created from something amazing. If an ailing toddler who practically lived in a hospital can now climb Mount Kilimanjaro, if a boy couldn't read or write and now can publish a memoir, you too have no limits of what you can accomplish. JT wants to share his story so that people who feel alone or discouraged might feel less alone and more confident. He was diagnosed with a life-threatening syndrome, and he had 16 major surgeries between the ages of 3 and 16, with 250 days in the hospital. To top all of that off, he has dyslexia and short-term memory loss that his school psychologist told him in 4th grade he would be illiterate for life. He looked them in the eyes and said, "Go yourself." And then he turns around and says, he didn't really say that, guys, I'm just reading. So he pushed through. And I know, I want to hear JT say that. My first question to him is going to be, how does it feel to be related to Justin Timberlake? No?
I'm bringing sexy back.
Like, I think we should just bring him into that theme song. Like, I feel like he spent his whole life having this, and he was untethered he wrote a book, Untethered. It's his message of hope to everyone that no matter what you may be going through, you will pull through the relentless suffering into light-filled, ready for this, Jessica, breakthroughs, because he and his family did, and you can too. He's coming here to empower us, guys. He's coming here to bring positivity. He's coming here to change what everybody thinks is negative in your life. Guess what? He's going to break through. He's going to help you nail all of who you are and break through who you are. So, guys, make sure. Oh, hell no. With Bob's beard, apparently. So, Donna, hey, Jackson's. Guys, what do we say? What time's their show? Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. All right, let's try it again. Guys, ready? Let's try it again. Guys, it's the Jackson. Hey, tomorrow, what time's their show?
7 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, we're going to learn all about relationships on the Breakthrough Network. Hell yeah. That's right. Bob says hell no. I said hell yeah, guys. Do you guys have any hot babes for Bob to interview or screen for dates? I don't.
No.
I don't know. I'm sorry. Brandon and Elsa, you are looking radiant today. You both rock. I know that word.
Okay.
So I look forward to JT coming on, teaching us all about him and his cousin, Justin Timberlake, how he taught him how to dance, how to, before it was NSYNC, it was the JTs. Like, don't worry, guys. It's going to be a great show. Hopefully I can catch some of it. I have Healing Circle at 11. Please know, Sherry, we wish you all the best and thank you for joining us this morning. And same with Jessica Dukas, one of my favorite humans alive, even though I have not made it down to her. I got to pay bills. So I'm like working a lot up here doing other like jobs just to pay my bills. But you understand that, I know. And Brett Gordon, look at him out there. He's got like this building behind him. He's like, guys, I'm sexy and I know it. Like, I love it. So Brett, before you get going, before you leave, I need you to give us a motivational conversation piece that is inspiring you today. What woke Brett up early this morning, other than Java, that made you want to join us and spread positivity? Don't give me that, Jessica.
Hey, to just know that today I'm heading up to Belfouche, where Bob Seymour spent 6 to 8 weeks earlier this year, last month, and I am so psyched about that. If Bob feels the energy in that part of South Dakota, I am so psyched to be able to feel it and experience it myself. So to me, that's what has really gotten me up this morning. The other thing is that if people recall, in the back in my office, I have a picture of a Native American warrior, and that artist is actually from Spearfish. So that's the other community I'm going to be visiting, and I'm really psyched about just being in that part of the world, because sometimes just being in a particular location can completely change your energy, and you can draw and ground yourself from the energy of the earth in those locations. So that's what got me up this morning. Those are the types of things that we can do every day. Find that place around you. You know, not everybody gets a chance to move from, you know, one part of the country to the other, or, you know, travel, you know, on a daily basis. Find a spot in your house. Create a happy zone so that when you have that opportunity, go to that happy zone. Sit there, relax, reground yourself, take your shoes off, put your feet in the grass, whatever it takes, and bring positivity into your life. Because to be perfectly honest, you are the only one that can bring positivity into your life. You can influence others, they can influence you, but you are the only one that can do that for yourself.
Bob did say you ought to stop and check out the Center of the Nation in Belle Fourche.
I will do that. That's going to be awesome. I'm not that far away from there now, so it's not going to take long to get up that way, and I'm going to explore the rest of the day.
There's an elk in Belle Fourche that's wearing a COVID mask, so you'll be safe. Don't worry. Awesome. Brett, I'm going to move you to the back while we get ready for our next interview, and Elsa and I prepare ourselves. And I get a chance to catch up with her since I was late, but I love you for being here and making sure that everything went smooth this morning and helping us get ready, as I got interviewed for a TED Talk, and it went really well. So,
all right, and I'm going to have to take off because I got to get going and head up that way.
I love you, buddy. Have a great one.
All right, take care.
Hey, you didn't give us your motivation at the end. You were supposed to give that conversation piece like we do at the end of the show. Since you're not going to be here.
I did that.
You know what? I'll count it. Goodbye.
Okay.
Bye. Just leave.
Bye-bye.
Love you, buddy. Thanks, buddy. Jaybird says, yes, the Elk Force is strong in South Dakota. I have to be honest. I think elks are awesome, but I've never been able to really be close to one. The closest I ever got to an elk was a moose in Canada that they told me could flip the car. And that's not the same.
Isn't an elk and a moose the same thing?
I have no idea. They told me it was a moose, and I was looking for an elk. Whether they're the same or not, I have no idea. Can I just say no so I'm right?
Yes, I know.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, they're not the same. They're different. One's got bigger antlers than the other.
Oh, how do you know that? You just said you don't know.
Shh. Okay. I'm lying.
Don't lie.
I don't know the difference between an elk and it's... Yes, Brandon is ruling his world and impacting the universe in his awesome energy. Huge congrats on your interview today and your TED Talks. Thank you very much. A lot of very, very, very cool things are working in the background. And I have to be honest, I'm not as much of a people pleaser as I am. I couldn't believe in myself without every single person that's been here commenting and everything. And I wouldn't be here without Elsa. Even Gavin, Gavin and I still say hi, and he is still an amazing young man in my eyes, and I'm grateful that he's a part of my life. And guys, this is just the beginning. When I say if you want to change the world, I'm not stopping at any small part. I want to make a big difference, and if you want to be a part of that, please know there is a difference out there, and I would love for you to be with us. And the first person that changes the world is you, because your world has to change first before anybody else can have a change. They have to see it. It's a ripple.
And if you look back now at just before the COVID started and everything, how far have you come on your journey? If you just have to quickly think.
So that was.
But think of all the things that went right. Don't think of all the things that went wrong. So
that's actually
all the things that went right.
So that's actually, I think that's interesting, because that was one of the questions they asked me in my interview was, how has 2020 been different from 2021 for you? And I explained that 2020 has been, there's nobody that can say, 2020 was my favorite year, because the whole world locked down together. The whole world got stuck in a spot where we were all in confusion. We were all dealing with newer issues that we've never dealt with before. With you have kids and all these other things. And for me, 2020 was like, all right, I can't do anything different. I'm going to have to change me. I have to open up my heart, my doors, myself, my personality, and I have to become my brand. And that's what I explained. Like, I can't get mad. I can't get angry. Now, we all get mad. You're driving down the road, someone cuts you off. I still go, you dipshit. Like, move out of the way. Like I get mad, but I don't. 2020 took a lot out of everybody, but at the end of it, for me, it took me into another dimension of myself and made me actually have to see that anger, that anxiety, and those things that I put out there are just fears. They're just things that are there to block me from my potential. And the fear of failure is something that should never be in my mind, but is ingrained into ourselves so deeply we don't even realize it. And for me, 2020 was a way of don't get mad, don't yell, don't fight, don't anything. And I literally turn around and I'm going to put this up here, see if it works. Nope, it didn't. It fell behind there. Oh, well. But I saw that there was potential for me. And I saw that I needed to focus on really bringing out the best. And I didn't know what that meant. But I knew fighting was the first thing that had to stop. I knew the conversations of thinking I have to be right had to stop. I'm not right all the time. Creating boundaries was an essential thing for me because I'm one of the most caring people, I'm told. One of the best compliments I've ever gotten in life is Brandon is the best team player even when there's no team. And while that's wonderful and something that's a high compliment, shut up. I hear you laughing. do you
also is like, even if he plays for the team, even if he's the only one in the team. And that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like that.
Well, I thought the same thing, but you can't be a leader if all you do is give of yourself to make everybody else happy. Because sometimes you're going to have to upset people just to be able to make sure you are leading. And that was a very, very difficult thing for me to break in myself because I don't like seeing people unhappy. But when they are people who are a part of your team, they have to fit that vision. And sometimes people fall out. Sometimes people don't match. And I had to learn these things. In the sandbox, you don't always need a team, but you need a Tonka truck. The thing that went not as planned gives you a chance to perfect a better solution and give rise to new thoughts and directions. 100%. Jaybird, right on there, buddy. Elsa telling everybody she loves them today. Love you, girl. And with you, Elsa, how do you so let's talk about faith for a second, for a minute here. You're looking at yourself. You're stepping into a new realm. You took a very big chance on yourself, stepping out, getting your new place, moving, everything you're doing. Why did you do it for yourself? If you could have the sandbox, but you don't always have the Tonka truck, as Jaybird said. How did you know you were stepping out in 2020 into 2021 to get the best out of Elsa?
In 2019, my whole relationship fell apart. So I moved out of my husband's house in 2019. And I had a mass awakening with some huge losses and stuff in 2020 with the COVID and everything. Our business, I still got my salary. Businesses went down, customers closed down. It was all around just horrible and everything. And I never, as I said before, never wanted a 9-to-5 job because I feel there's so many people out there that need help. And don't know how to process what has happened to them in the past, and do not put themselves out there and think that they deserve mental health or respect or any of that. So for me, standing up for myself against big bullies and a lot of abusers and stuff in my life has pushed me to just be who I am and just believe that what I want to do is what I can do, and just giving all your, as you said, faith and all that, beliefs that other people put on you to take that out. So in 2020 and the beginning of 2021, that is what I did. That was my blessings, getting rid of people that were bringing me down, that didn't have my highest good in
Your
how do you
best
say
interest at heart. Best interest at heart.
best interest at heart, and,
Yep.
and dealing with that long-term relationships closing and losing people like that and everything. I mean, it's been hectic on all of us, but it's made me a better person and taught me and a lot, and I've grown a lot as a person. So that is what I'm
love
grateful for in 2020 and 2021.
I love it. I love it. So while we're waiting for our guest, who has not arrived yet, but that's okay. We're going to have some fun with it. He's going to be bringing the positivity, no bad days, only hard days, is his motto. As soon as he gets here, he's going to be jumping on and teaching us about who he is and being untethered with inspiration. So guys, I hope you're ready for that. Until JT gets here, Elsa, what would be a goal you want to set for yourself before 2021 ends? Let's use that first. What would be a goal that you would be able to tell yourself, I'm accomplished? What would you hit?
Having a job and grounded networking or a network of people that and being in America. I don't know if that makes sense. I want to come to America. I've already stopped, quit my job and everything, not have that kind of anything that holds me back into launching into where I want to go and what I want to do. So my goal will be to have that certainty of where I'm going and what I'm doing before I get to my visa appointment, which is in January. So just seeing the fruits of my labor and the legacy that I'm trying to leave on people's life and try and help them in a positive way. I want to see I already see the results, but just faster and bigger results, I think, and just enjoying life still and just slaying
I love
everything
that.
that I want to do. Everything I want to do. I actually wanted to ask you, what's the 5 things that's on your bucket list? The 5 top things that you want to do before you die.
Before I die?
Yes, before you die, not like within the next week.
Well, before I die, I would like to climb a mountain. I would like to climb like Kilimanjaro. I would like to climb St. Helens. I would like to climb Everest. And that's not anything more than 0.1% of the world is going to run a marathon, 26.2 miles. But we all know someone who ran a marathon. We don't all know someone who climbed a mountain. So even less people do that. I want to climb a mountain just to be able to see the summit and be able to be on top of it and see a totally different realm of the world. I love being in airplanes. I would like to, and this is the thrill seeker in me, is I would like to be able to jump out of an airplane one day with I would like to do a spider or a squirrel suit and fly. I really would. I just, it's something in me that I feel I'm going to do one day. Those are my 2 thrill-seeking ones. My other 3 goals is I want to leave a legacy. And I don't mean that as in like Brandon built a successful company that made billions of dollars or whatever. It's Brandon led by example, and people wanted to be their best selves because of how he fought. That's what I want. And so to say legacy to some people is their name on a building or their name on a hospital or their name somewhere, where for me, my legacy would be knowing that so many people saw the light in me that it sparked the light in them. That is what I want. I want to create content that inspires. I want to create content that sparks.
That's fine. I like that.
You can't steal my goals.
I can do whatever the hell I want. You know that.
Okay. Never mind. But for my other 2, because you said 5, The one that I say that a lot of people is the one, if you don't know me, sounds really weird, but I want to go down. I want to, when I pass on, my legacy to be that I went down as the greatest drug dealer legacy ever. Like Brandon Sparky Croucher. That's funny. That legacy is set in motion already. Thank you, buddy. But what I mean by the greatest drug dealer ever is I want people to understand the benefits of this plant, and I want people to understand the benefits of psilocybin, and I want to be able to sit in front of people, and when they say, "Oh, that's bad," I could be like, no, hold on, let's talk. Like, how can we, what is bad about it? What did you hear about this? And then show the facts, because truth be told, there's so many of us that, like, I have so many friends to this day that still tell me, oh, you're in the CBD industry. That's weed. You're, and it's like, is it really? Is it really? Like, how do you think that, and what has created that in your mind? Is it something you've always been told? And then how do I help you? How do we talk for you to see that maybe there is something you didn't know? And what I mean by greatest drug dealer is not a drug at all, but I open up the doors where people have been afraid to step through for decades. And I want to be able to be the light, in a sense, that stands in front of the medical industry, that stands in front of the World Health Organizations, that stands there and says, here's a way we can help people without telling them. And that's not what people like, because people are followers. And I'd rather be able to help people break that mindset to develop and become the amazing. Can hemp help with kidney disease? Stone daisies. Hello. I love that.
That was so awesome.
Ryan and I had a conversation about you the other day, Elsa. He's really working on becoming. I must be hanging around different people. What? What? Are you saying we're not uplifting you? Are you saying we are not, like, loving on you? Are you saying... Now my love and appreciation, coffee, caffeine, tea, CBD, we all need options of self-care. I agree. I 100% see that. Jessica, I don't mean drug dealer like we're out here passing out bumps or anything like that, but I am meaning
organized. If it's something, I'm just joking.
what is today's topic? Today's topic was about we had a guy coming on. I'm talking about the weed comment. I hang around. I don't mean that as hanging out with bad weed people. I mean, is it like, have you ever, let's say you're someone who doesn't smoke weed. My mom, I asked my mom if I could use this story one day, and she said yes. My mom doesn't smoke because when she was a teenager, somebody had her smoke with stuff that she had no idea what it was. They had no idea what it was. They had no idea if it was an up, a down, a balance, a what. And she then got something that made her feel completely paranoid and in her head and didn't know why she was feeling that way. And I don't want people to have that experience. I would rather be like, all right, this does this, this does this. Here's how you can get a balance. Here's how you could start. But, like, there's people that will hand people an edible and be like, oh, yeah, eat the whole thing. And it's more than someone like me who's an everyday pothead.
I have a story, but I can't tell that on air. So just remind me to one day tell you the story, okay? But I can't do it on air. I'll get into trouble.
Well, let me ask you.
About an edible and just giving it to them. It was an accident, but it was hilarious.
So I have edibles, and I've tried to get my family to do them with me. Each one of my family members, as much as I love them with all my heart, they don't listen. I'm their son or their brother, so why would they listen to me, right? But as a friend, people are like, oh, I should trust this guy. He's a stranger. And I know the story.
Because I phoned it. I'm like, oh my word, I am in so much trouble.
It was funny, like out of nowhere, your kids come up. All right, but what I mean by that is I had my mom and both my sisters and my dad, and I convinced them one by one, like, try it with me. Let's do an edible together. Well, my one sister doesn't listen at all. She's like, I'll do it when I get home. That way I'm in my house. Cool. Only take this small piece. And I cut the small piece off. What did she do? My sister goes, well, and eats the rest of it, and then calls me 45 minutes later going, I don't know what's happening to me. And I go, I wanted to sit with you. So when the anxiety triggered in, I could talk with you because you didn't. How much did you take? I ate that whole thing. Why did you not listen? My mom, knowing my sister did this, did the same thing. My dad did the same thing. And he turns around and he opens a cookie that somebody made. Now, he has no idea how strong it's going to be. He has no idea if it's CBD or cannabis in there. And he just goes and eats it. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun. I have to be honest. God, did I have fun that day. Because he felt he was angry and he did it to relax. So I'm like, all right, good. That's fine. I'll be by you. But then he invited all his friends over. And then he starts cleaning. And I knew there must have been a sativa in there because he went nuts. He's just like, okay, I gotta dust this. I gotta clean this. Why is the garbage not been taken out? The garbage only has an apple core in it. What do you mean? It needs to be taken out. It should be empty. Oh, he was everywhere. It was hysterical. His friends get there, and I saw the people-pleasing side of me come out in him. He literally comes out of nowhere, and he's like, are you comfy? Are you comfy? Are you comfy? To every single guest. And I'm like, Dad, take a seat. No. I want to make sure everybody's good. Does anybody need a drink? Anybody need anything? And they're like, why is he so like wound tight today? And I go, I don't know. Let's just keep an eye on him. He's having a good day.
The thing is, people will not use cannabis again because they had a bad experience, but they'll date the same toxic guy twice or 3 times. I mean, just try it again. Just try it. If you had a bad experience, it is because someone didn't help you. But cannabis is such a powerful product in any form to help people that struggle, people with mental illness, and that it's not a drug to get high on and enjoy your life. That's not what it's about.
You can do that though.
You can, and you can use it recreationally and everything, but you don't have to. But there is so many health, what do you call it? Health benefits.
Yep.
For that you're actually shooting yourself in the foot by not doing your research and not giving it a try. Because when you have a bad reaction with pharmaceuticals, you just go and fetch other pills. But you still drink pills and it's still pharmaceuticals. So why not try the cannabis in a different form? Because you try medication in a different form. I just feel that a lot of people must do their research on that and then just see
you're saying I agree, but telling people to do or asking people to do research, everybody should, and we all say we do. The thing is, your doctor went to school to learn about these things. No, they went to school to learn about your body and a specification, whether it's nose, mouth, throat, whatever, right? They know that, and that's not a bad thing. They are the expert in that field, but those pills that you're getting, they don't know everything that's in there. They also don't know what that pill's going to do for something else you're taking. Like Elsa, let's say, gets bloody noses. So the doctor puts her on one pill, but then she can't sleep at night because the pill that gives her, that stops her bloody nose, is keeping her up. Then they get to put her on a sleeping pill. Well, that sleeping pill leads to a diet pill, which leads to and that's the thing. I don't say I have the answers. I say the research has been there. How can we present this in a way where we'll provide people an option to make their own choice? And that's all Elsa and I want to see, is you be able to know yourself, who you are, why you are so freaking amazing. Because the truth is, even though our guest didn't apparently make it yet today, he wants to talk about the way we separate ourselves, the way we build ourselves, and how he did it. And I was interested in that. Now, Elsa, you asked me a question that I still have to get out of you. What are your goals for yourself for this year?
To be my authentic self and not let people bully me. Just
that's
to stand
bullshit
up for myself. There's nothing material. There's nothing materialistic that I want. There's nothing on earth that I can buy that will make me happy, because I've had it all and it didn't make me happy. Just being my best authentic self and using my voice that I was always scared to use. and use my voice for good and empower women and children and men being abused, being put limitations on, being mistreated and forgotten about. I want to give those people a voice. I feel that we've got the internet and we've got the ability to just empower everybody on the planet. You can empower everybody. It is possible. And that's just what I want to do. I just want to be happy and spread joy and love and help people and just enjoy my life and see the world. I want to yoga at every beautiful spot that I can see across the world. I want to go where everybody, I want to go everywhere and see everybody's homes and just experience Earth, experience the world, experience travel and meeting people.
Well, since we have no guests today, apparently he forgot about us, which is okay. Yesterday's guest, by the way, we were so nice to yesterday's guest. I want to just bring this to the attention, okay? Mm-hmm. And I was asked, his secretary found my cell phone number, my work cell phone number, sent me a text message apologizing early morning. You and I on air said how nice it was, right? How they did everything right. Why on his personal Instagram was he landing and going snorkeling in Mexico during our time that he was supposed to be on air?
I don't know, but it sounds like fun.
It made me be like, okay, so you said you had an emergency you can't get out of and you have to back out.
But you had to find Nemo.
Guys, they lost Nemo again. We have to go again, this time in Mexico, not Australia, and they dive in the water. Now, if he can reply back with that, oh, that would be a great one. I would be like, all right, you earned it. But I was kind of disappointed he didn't show up. Look, you could say you're on vacation. That wouldn't have worked, and you forgot because it was a holiday. But don't lie. Don't lie. Don't let us catch you in a lie. That's what I didn't like. So, Elsa, traveling the world. My sister has been to Cape Cod, and she said, I have to see it one day. Okay? She's like, you're going to have to. It's beautiful there.
Cape Town is beautiful.
Where would you want to go in the world? Give me a location. I have to go. If you have, oh my gosh, excuse me. That was a very quick burp. I'm sorry. Tell us in the comments where you would go.
There's a huge list. I want to go to Greece. I want to go to Egypt. I want to go to Zanzibar. I want to go to Jamaica. I want to go to Scotland, Ireland. I don't want to go to England. I'm sorry. I just don't want to.
I do one thing.
And I don't want to go to Australia or New Zealand. It's not on my list. I want to go to Brazil. Hi, Mike. I want to go to Brazil. So I want to go. I want to go to New Orleans. Where did you disappear?
I'm so sorry. His response. He said, "So if you don't know Ohio, you don't know Cleveland." Mike says he wants to live dangerously by going to Parma Heights. Parma Heights is good early midday, Mike. Parma Heights is like no. Parma Heights is not a city that you would travel to, but it's funny because in Ohio we make fun of it. Like in Cleveland, we're like, oh, so you're from Parma and stuff like that. So him saying that is hilarious. It's like, oh yeah, I want to go to Detroit. Oh God.
Detroit City.
Okie dokie. All right. So where are you going, and where is your favorite place you want to go? Like, why do you want to go there? Like, I want to go
Right now, the rumor is that I might be coming to Cleveland, Ohio.
What? Don't get into that yet. We can't say anything until we have everything signed.
But that's what I said, rumor. It doesn't mean it's true. I just said there's a rumor out there that I might be traveling. But before that, I don't know. I want to see. There's a solstice conference on in Sedgefield. Sedgefield in South Africa in Cape Town in the next 3 weeks, I think. We want to do that. Go there. It's like a spiritual community, and they've got this whole thing going there. So we want to go and see what that is about. And then I want to go visit my friends in Eastern Cape before I leave America. Before I leave for America. So there's a couple of places that I still want to see in South Africa. I've been to some, which was on my list, which is a place called Springbok. It's like Northern Cape, north. And I sat there on the top of a mountain, the most beautiful country in South Africa. I've actually got a picture where I was yogaing on this top of this big rock. So there's quite a bit of places that I still want to see in South Africa before I go. So I've got about 6-7 months, I think, that I have left, hopefully. So
would you climb the pyramids in Egypt?
yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Would you climb Mount Kilimanjaro?
I think I would, just to prove to everybody that I can. I'll probably die halfway up and swear and hate myself for saying yes and thinking of all the excuses why I need to go down immediately. But once I'm on top, I'll go like, I told you I can do this.
I made it. Let's go. I made it. I'm safe. I'm good. We made it. I would go to England. I would go to the Royal Garden, but that's a different reason than most people. So I would go because so there's a plant in the Royal Garden, okay? And my great grandmother, like far back, had one of her kids in the Royal Garden. It's the only person born out of royalty in the Royal Garden. So they named a plant after her. Yeah, pretty cool, right? It's called the crochet. It's got my last name just without the R. Okay, that's the original English version of it, surname. But what's interesting about that is when you Google the crouchy plant, you're literally finding a weed in the Royal Garden. So when you go to look for it, we are. Yes, I was meant to be a weed. I'm supposed to be the weed. I get it now. Oh my God. Purpose. Like I have figured out my future. Oh my God. I laugh at this. I make jokes, but the truth is, it's one of those where I would do that to go see it. Now, the other one I would want to go to is the Netherlands. And
yes, me too.
Do you want to know why? Do you want to see why?
The tulips.
Sure, tulips. Yep, that's what I would go to.
Tulips.
Tell me why you want to go. I got to grab something that's right here.
Because you can smoke. Well, you can smoke in South Africa as well. So it used to only be because you can smoke and get edibles there in shops and all that kind of thing. But I just want to go see it. The wooden shoes, the windmills, the landscape, the everything. I just want to go see it. It's also one of the ones that I would really love to go to. I know Kyle, Eileen's boyfriend, and Eileen also want to, but they want to go to Amsterdam.
I would go to Amsterdam. I want to see Amsterdam. I'm not a big person, like crowds type of person. If I'm leading the event, I'm good with crowds. But like, even if I go to a concert, I don't know why, I just don't feel comfortable. But I would go to the Netherlands or New Zealand. I'm sorry, I would go to New Zealand as well because there's a brewery there.
I can't see.
I'm trying to get it in the light, but the camera
Croucher.
is back. Bingo.
Okay, I see. It says Croucher.
So the Croucher Brewery is in New Zealand, and even though I'm allergic to beer and certain hops, I literally want to go there because that's like a family name. It's tradition, and I have a CBD company. With the combination of the names, I just think there's a lot of really good that can come out of it, and being able to see people there. Having your last name on anything is cool, but having it be on one of the largest breweries in New Zealand and all these different areas around that side of the world, I just want a craft beer is awesome. There you go. It's Brandon Tumbleweed Croucher or Brandon the Crouch Croucher. I love it.
I kind of don't have a surname that I want on anything or want to go and look for. Like,
we should. Have you ever done your history of who you are, like going back to your roots and knowing anything about like your grandparents?
I don't really want to know. I think it's better not to know what kind of secrets is hiding.
You mean like?
Oh no, maybe I shouldn't do that.
You mean like finding out you're a weed in the royal garden? Like, Croucher, I hardly know her. But Panda, it's good to see you again. Glad you're here. So our guest didn't show. We're literally having a fun conversation, just all in general about traveling. Like, tell us where we should go in the world, where you want to go in the world, but above all else, where Elsa Jungle Babe. We have Bob's Bible Biker Babes, and we have Ilsa's Jungle Babes. I love it. But tell us where you guys would want to go on a vacation. If you could afford anywhere, where would you go? Would you go to Antarctica just to say you're one of the people that got to walk on Antarctica?
I want to see the Northern Lights.
I want to see the Northern Lights, but I want to go on an Alaskan cruise because I think it would be really interesting to be able to be on the water getting the full effect. And I'm also a photographer in my own head. I take pictures all the time, but like I don't post them anymore just because my own ego. But like I literally would want to be out there and get a picture of the Northern Lights reflecting off the water and the snow.
Can you imagine a selfie?
My selfies usually have me like this. That way, like you have the bald headish, and I'm just sitting there. It's like, look at this view behind me as I have my head there. Like I think it would be fun to travel around the world. No Titanic adventures. No, unfortunately, I don't feel like that would fit my timeline. Or it would end my timeline. My family history is nearly as bad as finding out you were related to Lord Voldemort. Even if you are related. Yeah, but even if you are, you're still related to Lord Voldemort. I'm not being weird with that. You were related to a lord. If I found out I was related to like Hitler, I wouldn't put that on my resume. But it means you have leadership qualities.
Leadership skills.
We both did the same joke. That was high five, Elsa. Boom. That was awesome. Boom. Love it. Leadership skills. All right. Panda says, I want to go to New York City and be like, I'm walking over here. You bada bing, bada boom. And then get them. And then get beat up for that cringe shit. So just so you know, I will be happy to walk with you around New York City, Panda. Kevin's here too. We got everybody today. I love it. So like, it's fun. New York City is awesome. So Panda, 100%. But when you walk around and you go around New York City and like, I'm walking over here, you got to remember, they might come beat you up just for you saying you're walking there. You got to believe it where they don't want to talk to you after that. You got to scare them. You got to be that crazy just outside. Because New York City, like, only the strong survive there, they say. That's true. New York City is a tough place. And when I go around and I take you around, Panda, we're going to go scare people. We're going to be like, hey, get me a glass of water. All right? I need water. How much it costs?
That's the New York accent.
It's New York and Boston combined. Does that count?
All sounds the same to me.
Are you a Yankee or are you a Red Sox?
You all sound American to me. That's all.
What? No way. Are you a Yankee or are you a New Yorker? Are you a New Yorker? Do you like the Mets? Do you go down to the Mets or do you go to the Yankees? The stereotypical stereotypical New York accent, funny as heckaka. And then Sarah says, that doesn't even sound like a New York. Don't do that. I guess I'm offensive now. And then Kevin says, love. Thank you, Kevin. Bring the love back, bro. You are one in a million. So, Elsa, have you ever been to the States?
Never. I left South African borders once. We went skiing in Lesotho, where you need it. It's also a South African country. So there's a place called Afri-Ski where they make snow if it doesn't snow. So we went skiing there. And that only got my passport stamped once, and it was when I went there.
I love it. Well, we're going to have to get your passport stamped again. So I like New York City. There's a lot to do in New York City. There's a lot to see. If you're on a budget, you could do other cities like Chicago, Cleveland, stuff like that. I think that there's parts of the United States that you have to see in different areas. So, like, if I'm going to pick different, New York, got to see. But if you're going to go to New York, take the train down to Philadelphia. And I say that as in, like, when you get into Philadelphia, you're literally going to see a totally different world of people. And then when I go from there, I would recommend you go to Boston, which is technically the opposite way. But when you get into Boston, God, Boston is a world of knowledge and museums and history. DC, same thing. Washington, D.C. If anybody ever wants to go to D.C. and I'm there, I will walk around with you because it's so beautiful to see all the monuments. Come to Cleveland. I will walk with you around Cleveland and teach you the history of what this city did that changed the world. Like, everybody knows the city of Cleveland's water caught fire. Okay? It was in the news, blah, 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 all these things. You want to know what's interesting about the water catching fire?
Mm-mm.
No, you don't? Okay, then I'll move along.
I don't know. I know the history. I know is 4th of July because of Independence Day, the movie.
I'm going to give it to you. You get 2 points.
History wasn't one of my favorite subjects.
That's okay.
I do not care about history because I think the people in our past, most of them did good, some of them did not as good. And most of us are stuck on history. And that is why we're repeating the same cycle. So I don't like history. I know my history from my South African history, what they taught me in school. And I know the history that they taught my children in school. CK, I have a bed for you to sleep. I'll show you South Africa. You're more than welcome.
I love it. When you see aliens light off fireworks, that's all she has to say. I love it.
Where aliens?
When you see aliens light off your fireworks, that's all you have to do. I love this. Philadelphia, I hear it's always sunny there. So you might not know the history of this, but there was no regulations for pollution back in the day. And the United States, like Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Detroit, they were pouring pollution into the Great Lakes. And one day, the city of Cleveland's water actually caught fire and it burned. Wow. And Time magazine actually had pictures of it. And it ended up being one of the, the Cleveland became the mistake by the lake. It became the joke of the United States. And everybody made fun of it because our water caught fire. But you want to know what's interesting about that? Is that fire wasn't even one of the biggest fires of water catching fire in history. Why did that catch fire? Is because of the pollution. And because of this article that was written in, Time magazine, right? Do you want to know why it became such a big thing and people talked about the water catching fire? Oh, because that article of Time magazine was the article of the moon landing, which is the #1 selling magazine in history off shelves. More of that magazine were sold than the next 4 magazines combined in history, just so you know. And that's the moon landing. Then you turn around and the article about Cleveland's water catching fire is in there. So people started making jokes of it, but guess what? Those jokes led to the Environmental Protection Agency. Those jokes led to creating companies that did not want to pollute. Those jokes that made fun of a city that water caught fire because of pollution. History of the Cuyahoga Fire Water Cleanup. Brian is just like, watch this. Boom, I'm going to drop Brandon knowledge. Guess what? I appreciate that. And it's interesting because they write these things and they taught us about pollution, why it's bad. And while the city of Cleveland gets this negative reputation, guess what? It didn't even have one of the biggest fires. That was just the one that Time was in there and got a picture of. I have one of the cleanest lakes. We have been one of the front runners on building and revitalizing these things, but we're still labeled a joke. Do you know anybody in your life that was labeled a joke that maybe turned around? It's like that bully that middle school kid that was the nerd that then gets out the helicopter going to prom. He's like, yeah, I'm a billionaire now. Boom.
How many years ago was this? How many years ago was this fire?
About almost 60 now, like 55.
Okay, so what kind of knowledge did they have 60 years ago? They weren't very
So
clever, so they can
they
laugh all
didn't.
they want.
They-
They can laugh
they-
all they want. As you said, the mistake turned into good things. That is why things like these happen. To put in the good things.
1919. Thank you, Brian.
Wow. So that good things can come from that. So that it's the same with the COVID. A bad thing happens, but good things jumps out of that, or starts from that. So let them laugh.
Let
Fuck
them laugh.
I used my F word. Fuck them.
I was going to say, I didn't think it was that early. 1969. Thank you, Brian. I was like, I didn't think it was not before 1920.
69.
We'll sing it.
No.
Don't just stop. But think about that. Think about how such a tragic thing. No one was hurt. Nobody died. Nothing happened like that. But the water caught fire and they were able to blow it up into this big thing that now we're talking about. And we're able to 69 and was the 13th and last fire. Boom. Thank you, Brian. I knew there was something with 13 in there.
How does water catch fire?
Pollution. So they were having factories that were there and they were just poor. There was no regulations. So
well, they should be ashamed. They shouldn't be laughing that water can catch a light with all the shit that they put in there. So they should be ashamed.
So what you're telling your laugh with it made it even better. Thank you. But like my thing is with that, like think about the change that brought. 1969, you were able to take your garbage can and just dump it into the water if you wanted. And I'm not even being weird with that. That's how the regulations were. It's disgusting. And that was worldwide. But because of an article that was written to showcase why the pollution is bad and how so much pollution has lit a fire in there, we've turned around and now look where we're at. It's a totally different world we're living in. And we're living in a world where we're able to see that difference. We're able to break these things and still find, like, there were jokes, you don't jump in the Cuyahoga River. Why? Because it's so toxic, you're just going to, like, your skin's going to melt off. None of that's true. I've swam in this river. I've dove in it. Like, I didn't know that. 1969, the number one song. Sugar. Pushing down on me. Wait, that's not
that one. That's the wrong song.
Between 1868 and 1952, it burned 9 times. In 1952, it racked up $1.5 million in damages. That's $1.5 million in damages of a river catching fire because of no pollution regulations, which now are put in place, and we're able to see the benefits of what it's doing. I want to, God, if you come to the United States, anybody, if you're in the United States and you come to Cleveland, I will take you on a tour around Cleveland, and your mouth is going to look like the emoji going. You know why? Because there's so many things that are history here that are hidden behind what happened nationally or internationally, and they started here. And I just would love to take people around and see that building up this city was so essential for me that I wanted to break barriers there. And I want to be able to do that with people who love to change the world and see themselves in a bigger light. So guys, that's people like you. That's Kevin. That's Jay. That's Brian. That's Panda. That's Elsa. That's not anybody that you can think of that wouldn't be able to join in. And I want to see us save this world because guess what? I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're Asian, Indian, or even somebody that doesn't have a race yet because you're so hidden in the world. Guess what? You're still sharing the one earth that we all get together. And for me, that means all of us have a role to play. And that's why I'm here. What do you think, Elsa?
I think that is, we should learn from our forefathers and do better. We should do better than if there's one thing that we as parents and as older generation, and we should strive. We should strive to be better than our parents and do better and talk about the things that they didn't talk about and change the things that they didn't change and accept the things that they didn't accept. And there's so many things that we have to. I mean, the cycle. We have to look after Earth. There's nowhere else we can live until Elon Musk puts us in his spaceship and takes us to Mars. I mean, but till then, we still need to look after the place where we live. We need to look after the animals. I mean, there's already the rhinos. The rhinos are already extinct. There's the black rhinos. There are already not any left that anybody will be able to see. It's gone. It's gone. So I think if we don't start now making a change in humanity and in the world, we have to start now. We have to make changes from our point of view to change the outcome and how everything is going to turn out.
Correct. I think that Jaybird says this phenomenally. Human is human. Embrace it, teach it, make it. We design it by our actions. And that's 100% correct. What is interesting to me on this is we are human. And we are all here on this together, this green earth together. And we're seeing these changes. Now, Elsa, I think it's interesting you say, oh, we need to fix the mistakes that happened before us. We need to work with the generations that were before us. How in the hell do you do that when it became so ingrained that what we were doing was right? And I say that with the knowledge of our generation, millennials, because you and I are labeled a millennial. Our generation is literally labeled the generation that is going to live shorter lives than our parents. We're the first generation to live less. We are having less jobs. We are having less economy growth. And there's all these things. How do you change the world when you see the negatives coming at you in droves from the media, your friends, everything like that? That is the question we ask that brings the change to the world.
The first thing you do is not believe everything the government shows you on TV. If you want to know the truth and you're not too lazy to go and look for it, you will find it. You will find the truth that resonates with you and that is true with you. You should have compassion towards racism. It's outdated. Racism
Yes.
it's so last year. So why do people still complain about it? Racism is last decade. War is last decade. Religion is last decade. It is all about embracing our differences, embracing the different cultures, the different living in peace together, because we are all on the same planet and we can live in. If you don't like somebody, there's so much space on this earth that you actually do not have to spend time with him. You can leave.
Are you serious?
If you do not like somebody or like where you are, you can leave. You are one decision away from changing your whole life. You are one decision away. Not your parents, not your children. You change your life. You manifest what you want. You create where you want to live. If you want to live in an outdated world, then do outdated things like racism and sexism and all that.
And classism.
Yeah, all the isms. Do not do it. All the isms. But if that is why I said we have to let go of the old belief system. Our parents were brought up to be racists. They were brought up to be racist. They were taught to be racist. That's why we, as the new generation parents, we might not live that long, but we are the open-minded generation that is leaving our kids and letting them explore jobs like on the internet and not going to school and being homeschooled and breaking from all outdated beliefs, doing it differently, because school, man-made, religion, man-made, rules, man-made. Exactly. That's why I'm wearing my white, because just that Labor Day rule that we were talking about, it is a stupid rule. It is just to point out people that are less fortunate than you. It is.
Keep talking.
Why are you disappearing?
I didn't wear white.
Oh, yeah, so you're not a rule breaker.
No, I didn't because I was. You know what, Elsa? I hate you.
I know. Excuses. No, I'm just joking. But it's true. That is just how life works. I've tried and raise my kids open-mindedly and still teaching them right from wrong. But
Oh, this shirt smells good.
But teaching them that the outside world is not important. It's how you feel and how you treat people. Thumbs up for breaking rules.
Now, let's explain this. Let's explain this. So, because Elsa and I did not know this, and the Stone Daisies read us why it is you don't wear white after Labor Day. And it was very interesting. So I want to start off with Labor Day was a holiday they created that was meant to be for laborers, that they get a day off because they've been the backbone of our country. It's a day where they have parades, families, and it's meant to be the day that Americans get to be proud they're Americans through the laborers that didn't go fight in battles or anything like that. Well, ignore that. Shirt is on backwards. No one will ever know. Hey! Now I'm going to put my coat on. Mr. Rogers style. How about that? I'll go like this. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighbor. Would you be mine? So
you
I
look
say,
like you're getting married. Don't
do
go
I?
down the aisle. It's a trap.
I'm going to just take that off then. Yeah. And yes, the shirt's on backwards because I have a logo on the other side, and I didn't want the logo to pop for everybody. But Indians, they are no longer the Indians. The final game of the season this year, they will no longer be the Cleveland Indians. They are going to switch their name because apparently the name Indians is racist, and we're not going to go down that path. I also immediately thought you looked like you were going to a wedding. Well, apparently I'm getting married now, guys. Who am I marrying? Myself.
Bachelorettes, give your names. You use first. We'll put everybody who gives their names in a hat, and then you can choose.
Wow, this got very interesting for me. So all the bachelorettes out there, put your name on the comments right now. CK, Jessica Dugas, Brett Gordon, Brian Tracy.
Brian Panda.
Panda. Pansu.
Pansu.
What is the most non-racist animal out there?
Zebra. It's black and white. It's a panda. It's black, white, and Asian.
She gets it. Boom. Good job. Good job. I love it. I'm surprised our guest didn't show. He seemed like a really good guy. I looked at his YouTube. He's got a pretty good amount of subscribers and says that he has people coming and all these things. I just don't know where he went today. I feel bad. We're going to have to email him after the show and say, hey, yo, we missed you. Hope you're doing well. Stalk his social media. See if he went on vacation too and ignored us.
Maybe that's it. But not the week that just passed. The week before that, didn't we also have 2 cancellations? We got stood up by the date doctor. Maybe it's just like a cycle thing. Those 2 days are just something happens and the people don't pitch. We don't do the racism in this panda household.
This is a great one. Sorry, I'm happily taken by that big D. I read it like that on purpose, winky face. Brian Tracy, you can have my entry if you'd like. What? Can't Phil apply? Can't Phil be
put Fernando's name in as well. We'll put Fernando's name in as well.
Well, just don't invite him back again. Exactly. That's exactly. I honestly, I want to share. He looks like he has this inspirational story. And I really think he would have brought something good. JT Jester speaks. And he talks about all of his factors of what he's faced through life and all these different areas of problems and blah, blah, blah. And long story short is he has a lot of inspirational stories. And I was interested to see what his stories would actually lead to because he looks like an inspiring guy that's been through a lot. And that's what we like here. And at the end of the day, you don't show up. I hope you're willing to understand that Ilsa's going to train a shark to come bite you through the shower.
That jumps up and bites your little toe.
He has his Oh, he has his hands filled with the big J. Oh, I love that she called herself the big J. It made me smile. He's just a jester.
That is
He was
so
merely
cute.
joking about coming
Trying
to the
see
show.
something.
I love that. That's a good analogy that keeps us in a good mindset. You must pass the the dating test put forth by the 3 equals me, myself, and I is not speed dating. I agree. You have to pass the dating test, me, myself, and I first, because it's not speed dating. Yes, but I could easily just have like Phil come on to show and marry me. I could have Jessica marry Phil and I. That would be awkward as hell for everybody. But guess what? I would still have fun with it. And CK, I did not see you reject the fact that you might be able to marry me too. I just want to point that out. Thank you. I hear a phone. So Elsa, as we're getting ready to... What's the alarm for?
Just an alarm to... I don't know. I can't remember why I put it on.
You're like, I don't know.
Alarm and it went off.
You're like, my alarm went off. I don't know why. And then Mandy Atterbury had duties, jungle requests. And then when Michelle Ramos came on my show, she said, nice does not mean kind, meaning that because someone's nice doesn't mean they are kind. Have a good business sense, etc. Lots of people are nice. Very well said. Thank you, Michelle. Kevin, are you one of the people wanting to get in on this like Brandon single thing and like try to marry me, buddy? Because apparently I'm like being shipped off. Elsa's going to write all the names down, put them in a hat, and then draw my next wife. They have the 2-3 rule here. If one of you has to be married 3 times, going on their 3rd, the other one going on their 2nd. It just makes the marriage work, apparently. That's the math. I don't know why. You know, that's what I'm told. But apparently I'm being married off just by my white shirt. Elsa, tell everybody why we wore white today, and then I'll pray someone for your life. It comes into your life. Aw, thanks, CK. I'm sorry you don't want to marry me. Elsa, why are we wearing white today?
Because we like breaking rules, and we want to tell the person who said that you're not allowed to wear white, I'll call it out, underprivileged. Screw you. We're underprivileged, and we have white on today.
It was meant to classify people. No, it really was. It was created to classify people. You don't wear white after Labor Day because you're supposed to be wearing your workers' attire. Yeah, and then the people that are wearing white are the ones that are showcasing that they got to vacation before the fall, and they'll be vacationing again after the winter. No onesies on a first date. Well, then she's not worth it to me. Sorry. Exactly. Like, I deserve a onesie queen. Oh, boy. Donnell, how about you bring me on? Can we do the dating game with Donnell and his people? You are too dynamic for me, Brandon. Besides, we already have such a great thing going.
He's letting you down so smoothly and nicely. She's not even breaking your heart. You go like, oh, that's so nice.
She's like, I love Panda's reaction too. That is the nicest rejection I've seen in a while. Like, for real. Her and Jessica's reactions were like the nicest too. Yeah, thank you, but no. That's what I got out of that. They're like, yeah, Brandon, you are too dynamic for me. CK, I'm still learning how to write my books like you. Like, I just try to write like you, you know, find my inner CK. They say, what are you looking for? I'm like, I'm looking for my inner Ford, you know? F-150 style. Donnell Jackson's over here hitting his head saying, no, we can't get into this, B. I don't want you to get married on my show. That's not how we open a show on Wednesdays. Well, I don't know. We could play the dating game, and I know you do, CK. I'm just having fun with you. You are amazing. Please know I take everything as a joke with that. I think it is the nicest thing. Jessica Dugas has rejected me. Phil rejected me. Brett left the show early. JT didn't even show up today, so apparently my adorableness, the Jackson 5 with the Ford F-150. I love it. That is funny, Jay Bird. Oh, I love it. Donnell, you better be ready. We're going to be coming for you guys for a great show on Wednesday. The minute I end the H, I'm diving on and watching your show. I look forward to seeing you and your wife bring forth positivity, excitement, and relationships. So, Elsa, we're near the end of our show here. We're coming to the last few minutes. Let's give everybody some positivity for the day. I'm going to give you the floor. You have 2 minutes. Tell everybody why.
What if I don't have 2 minutes worth of stuff to say?
You better figure something out. Good luck.
Hello. My name is Jester, and I'm an alcoholic. I'm just joking.
Oh, no, don't go that way.
Guys, it's actually a pity our guest didn't pitch up, but we had lots of fun getting to know each other and just sharing some wisdom, and my 2-minute speech is gonna be very long. So all I want to say, like usual, is be kind. It costs nothing. Be nice. Be firm. Stand up for yourself. You are worth it. You are worthy. You are loved. You are unstoppable. You are great. You are amazing. With a new moon, release all negative things holding you back. Positive steps, positive love, positive vibes, helping people, using your voice with intention. So saying things that are true, uplifting, and just builds character and does not tear it down. You guys rock. You are amazing. Sit tonight and take book of where you have been and how far you have come. It is the 7th of September. I mean, there's 4 months left, and then it's December. It goes fast when you have fun. So do everything with intention, love people, and just be great, because you are all great, loved, needed, and magnificent. Fuck. Sorry.
Well said. Well done. Well said. So I'm actually going to jump on part of what you said, because truthfully, it's be kind, rewind your VHSs before taking them back to the rental store. Thank you, Panda. Jessica Dugas says, in the words of the great Will.i.am, be different, be nice, just smile. I promise it'll change your life. Kevin Moore giving love and appreciation. The show I have you on is a work in progress. I need to get a team together for that one. I love it. Thank you, Donnell. I love the Jacksons. So my last thing of the day, I want to run with a little bit of what Elsa said. Elsa said it's a new moon. And I know a lot of people don't really maybe follow the stars, the astrology, the way things align. But the thing is, whether you're religious, whether you're, I see you right there, Miss. I see the comment right there, Miss Big D, Miss Breakthrough. What I want to say for everybody is that it doesn't matter when in life you start. There's excuses from new moon, start of a new month, start of a new year, start of a new decade, start of a new job. But the thing is, today's a day that we have an audience, we have a community, and we have people that are all here saying, I want to put forth my best. The full moon is 2 weeks away.
Jester,
Yeah, I heard that, Elsa. But the full moon is 2 weeks away, and we all love to look up and see a full moon. We enjoy the beauty of it. Well, let's plant some seeds from something as small as I want to tune into every Java this week to I want to be able to not think negatively about myself for 2 weeks, to something as easy as I want to drink my juices with Cootie for 2 weeks. Whatever it may be, set your intentions so when the moon is full, you're full of everything you wanted. You're filling yourself. You're filling your cup. I cannot fill Donnell Jackson's cup. I know I don't fill the Breakthrough Shows cup because she probably wants to shoot me through a cannon by now. Kevin Moore is just new to the channel but loves everything we're doing and spreading positivity, while Panda is having fun just finding ways of connecting with us in other ways. All I know is I can't fill all your cups. I can only be able to provide. I'm usually full of shit too, just to be honest. But all I can do is provide the best version of myself, be there to connect with everybody, and spread positivity to building the best you while I try to find my best me. The new moon is the best. It is the catalyst to give you something to celebrate on the full moon. Thank you, Jessica. She took exactly what I'm saying and stole the words right out from under me and made them sound prophetic. I couldn't have said it better myself, even though I tried. Guys, this has been an amazing, amazing day. Even though we did not see Kay, thank you. You are loved as well. I appreciate you being here. Mandy Atterbury, a solution to your problems. Do not worry. Keep manifesting it, and don't manifest it with the fear. You don't light a candle and then blow the candle out. So light your candle and let it burn. Because, Mandy, you can't manifest on an empty candle. Don't blow it out. Build and build the best Mandy. Full moon, naked volleyball is an interesting twist on the game. Enjoy yourself, guys. You guys are both awesome, Brandon and Elsa. Guys, this has been
We love you, Kevin.
This has been a phenomenal episode. It is Mandy Fest, the best you. That is fucking awesome.
That is so awesome, man.
For real.
For the win.
I'm on my second candle. Good. This one don't blow out.
Sometimes it takes three. Sometimes it takes three. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't say it's not manifesting. It's there. It's there.
And you can't hold a table up with only two legs. You need at least a third leg to get balance and a fourth to build the structure. So, Mandy, see what you're doing and know that you're building it. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
You mustn't stop singing when I start singing. That is.
All right, ready? Let's do it same time. Ready? Same time. Here we go.
1, 2, 3. Don't you count in America?
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
I was taking clothes off. Okay, this little
light of my heart. Hey, guys, have a great one. Remember, like, comment, share. Get out there, spread positivity. Even if the lightest thing you do today is the smallest thing, is buying someone a coffee to holding a door. Smile, spread positivity, spread love, passion, and joy. Thank you for joining us today at the Light Cafe. Thank you, guys.